Welcome back to Forestry. Imagine hauling a 100,000-pound excavator up a steep mountain pass with nothing but inches to spare on either side. That's the kind of challenge these transport teams face every day. It takes laser-precise maneuvering, real-time coordination, and nerves of steel. You're not just driving a truck, you're managing a moving mountain. Next, upwind turbine blades over 200 feet long navigating narrow countryside roads. These blades are longer than a Boeing 747 and bend slightly with each bump in the road. With spotters on foot and support vehicles blocking traffic, it's a full team operation. This isn't just a delivery, it's a logistical ballet. Footage suggestion: side shot of wind turbine blade passing through a tight turn in a rural area. Moving a 300-ton electrical transformer across muddy terrain is like towing a skyscraper through a swamp. These jobs often rely on modular hydraulic trailers and off-road towing rigs, with ground crews building temporary roads along the way. One wrong move and it's $1 million mistake. From the forests of Canada to the deserts of the Middle East, heavy haul operations happen worldwide. Different countries, different laws, but one constant: precision. No matter where you are, the science of moving massive machines demands the best in equipment, planning, and people. Let's talk gear. You'll see multi-axle trailers, lowboys, and self-propelled modular transporter seats chosen based on weight, road type, and clearance. Add in escort vehicles, pilot cars, and police units, and you've got a moving convoy that's part parade, part engineering feat. Visibility drops, fog rolls in, but the haul must go on. Driving a 200-foot convoy blind through the mountains is a nightmare even for seasoned pros. In these conditions, communication between escort vehicles and drivers becomes critical. Most teams use radios, spotters, and slow roll tactics to inch forward safely. When you're hauling 300,000 pounds down a 10% grade, it's not just about brakes, it's about controlled descent. drivers depend on retarder systems, engine braking, and even manual steering overrides to avoid runaway disasters. One false move, and it's game over. Sometimes there's no bridge, just water, mud, and pure determination. In remote areas, transport teams build temporary paths or pontoon supports to cross rivers with ultra-heavy cargo. Each crossing is a high-stakes gamble, where sinking a trailer could mean millions lost and months of delay. In places like Alaska or northern Canada, entire transport seasons depend on ice roads. Trucks travel over frozen lakes and rivers with weight limits calculated by the thickness of the ice. These teams monitor ice conditions by the hour, because one crack can swallow a rig whole. Embedded in every move. Teams conduct pre-trip inspections, hazard briefings, and real-time monitoring of both equipment and driver condition. If something feels off, they stop. No load is worth a life. Safety is not a backup plan, it's the main plan. From spotters on foot to drone scouts overhead, team coordination turns chaos into control. When conditions change, fast landslides, weather shifts, road collapses, this instant communication that keeps people safe and loads intact. Success here isn't solo, it's team built. From fog-choked roads to icy river crossings, heavy hauling isn't just about power, it's about staying alive in unforgiving environments. These teams combine technology, training, and pure grit to make the impossible happen safely. Subscribe to Forestry Tech for more real-world stories of strength and precision. And stay tuned, next up, we're diving into the wildest machine recoveries and breakdown rescues you've ever seen. Until then, keep it heavy and keep it safe.